Hi friends, welcome to a new episode of Beauty History. I am your host, Allison Chase. Beauty history is the cross-section of fashion, beauty, and history. And today, we will be taking another look at vintage holiday ads because last month we did a retrospective of vintage holiday ads and it went really well. You all seem to really enjoy it. You all seem to really enjoy the nostalgia. And since we are now closer to the actual holiday season, I think more people are getting into the festive mood. I thought this would be a great way to kick off the new month and just look at some other beautiful vintage holiday ads because there is a new episode the first Friday of each month. And so here we are into a brand new month, the month of December. We have lots of holidays. So I thought this would be perfect. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As stated, there is a new episode the first Friday of each month. Typically, historically, I have done more deep dives into the history of a fashion or beauty house such as Guerlain, Hermès, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany. These types of videos are more biography style, documentary style, similar to like an A&E biography. So if you want to go look at that, I have a very extensive catalog. I have over 20 episodes. So there's a link for that. And next month for the new year, a new leaf, there will be a new episode and it might be different than today's format. But before we continue, I just wanted to extend my gratitude and gratitude, is that the word? I don't know. There seems to be a word missing, something bigger, because I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Your love, your support, your likes, your comments, your engagement. You know, this is a labor of love, beauty history, and the fact that you guys are so supportive and so encouraging, it touches my heart and it means a lot to me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And there's a few of you who keep using the thanks button. The thanks button is an extra way to send me a tip if you feel so inspired. And there are a few of you who keep using them for beauty history specifically. So those would be Vicky Cole, Heather Barber, Christina O'Connell, and Elena Polshakov. Thank you so much for using the thanks button and buying me coffee every time I film one of these videos. And trust me, I go through a lot of coffee researching and writing these videos. So let's go ahead and dive into some glamorous vintage holiday ads. We're going to start off with Chanel, of course, how else? So this one here says, when the world's a Christmas Valentine and it's all addressed to you. I've never heard this expression before, Christmas Valentine. Have you? I've never heard this before. You are ready for Chanel, the most treasured name in perfume. You know, I think Chanel is still quite a juggernaut in the fragrance and beauty and fashion world. So this statement makes a lot of sense. I think it's very good marketing, telling men, listen, get her some Chanel, she'll be very happy. Probably. I think that's still correct. I do not have a date specifically for this ad here. I don't even have a decade, but from the man's trench coat, I would say the 60s, I think, because when I did the episode on Thomas Burberry, from what I remember, if I can remember correctly, I think the trench coat became trendy as a fashion statement a little bit later, post Second World War. So maybe 50s, 60s. She sort of seems to have a little bit of volume and flip at the hair. So it could be 60s. The long coat she is wearing is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm still not sure what a Christmas Valentine is. You know, Valentine, love, maybe it's like something to do with you have to get something for someone you love for the holiday season. I don't know exactly, but if you let me know in the comments what you think this decade or this photo is from, if you have a year specific. Now, this photo here, I do have a date. This is 1934. And what's interesting is I showed something similar to this in the previous episode. So this must have been some sort of campaign for this set here, because here it says Chanel, the regal gift, Chanel 3 moods. It's the ideal gift for the most fastidious lady. 3 superb distinctive Chanel perfumes to suit her changing moods. Well, just because I change my mood very quickly doesn't mean you have to call me out on it. So I think this is very cute. I think it's really nice. I think the idea of a kit or a set with 3 different perfume scents, because I don't think we see that often now from brands. Sometimes you can go to like a department store or a Sephora and buy a perfume kit that might have different perfumes from different brands. But I'm trying to think, like Chanel doesn't do gift sets with like Mademoiselle and Gabrielle and number 5. But I like the idea of multiple perfumes because maybe you have an office party, maybe you have a family event, maybe you have a religious event, maybe you have something with friends. Maybe you want different perfumes for different moods. So it does make sense to me. I looked very closely at the fine print and it says Glamour de Chanel. So apparently Chanel used to have a perfume called Glamour. I wish that was still around. Gardenia, we still have. Number 5, and then Jasmin de Chanel. Well, it's 4 perfumes, but there's only 3 there. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I think this is beautiful. I love the long coat. It's probably fur. I love the little clutch. I love the matching gloves. Listen, matching your gloves to your coat is a level of elegance that I don't think I'll ever achieve, but I can aspire to it. She looks gorgeous. She looks regal. She looks wonderful. Now we are skipping ahead a little bit because I have a vintage ad here from Dior, Monsieur Christian Dior, and these are these famous cartoons from this artist named René Gruot, and he did a lot of illustrations for Dior. I have some from a recent Dior event. These are not originals, obviously, otherwise they might be in the Smithsonian or at the Louvre somewhere. But these are René Gruot illustrations. So they are cartoons, but they're still very chic. They're very colorful, but they're cartoons, but they still have a very human touch. You know, it's not like a Mickey Mouse or anything. And so we have these beauties here. So this is very, very Dior. These are from the 60s, the 70s, from before as well. I don't think it goes into the 80s. I think that's when they stopped using his illustrations, or possibly he passed away. But these are just examples of some of the postcards that I have here. And so this ad is René Gruot. And we have a Miss Dior, a Lady Dior, who herself, she looks like a flower. The matching green stockings and green shoes make her legs look like the tige. What's that part of the flower? The stem. And then she's wearing this very bountiful, floral, voluminous, I don't even know if it's a shirt, if it's a dress, if it's just a big puff they wrapped around her. It looks great. She looks like she's having a ball. And this is for a holiday ad, actually. It just says, her at Christmas. Listen, I don't know what that means. If you give someone Dior at Christmas, they're going to be so ecstatic and they're going to turn into a flower. Maybe that's what they're saying. We have Miss Dior, Dior Ella. I don't know what that one is. I've never tried that one. We have Diorissimo and Dior. I know Miss Dior. That was my first perfume that I purchased for myself as a young lady in my 20s. The other perfumes, I've heard of Diorissimo. I think it still exists, but it might be harder to find. Dior Ella and Dior. I don't know what those are, but this illustration is 1979, and it doesn't necessarily scream holidays. It's very beautiful, but I think if you look at this, if it didn't say her at Christmas, you wouldn't know what the advertising is exactly. So it's interesting that they took a different approach from Chanel, who were like, listen, we're gonna have snow and it's going to be beautiful, and it's a different approach. It's interesting. Now let's go ahead and skip into the 80s and go into a very opium-filled mood. This is Yves Saint Laurent, YSL, and this is the 1989 holiday collection. I was 1 year old at this time. So this is Paris, the romantic spirit of the holidays. Now, I don't actually see the opium perfume in this ad here. It could be one of the small little baubles here. Those look like fragrance, perfume. I don't see exactly information. It could be perfume, it could be an oil, could be for the hair, for the body. I'm not certain which scent it is, but it's interesting that the top yellow perfume bottle has a black and red screw top, and then the bottom one is just black and bronze. And then we have a pink bottle. What is that one? What is that enticing perfume? I'm really curious. And then it looks like there's a big pink puff and a pink compact. This could have been a face powder, probably, more than likely. And then there's a little jar. All I can see is YSL Paris, and I think it says pressed and body, or corps, which means body. So perhaps the pink puff and the pink compact are in the same little jar. I'm not certain. I was there, but I wasn't really there, you know what I mean? So I don't know what that is, but if this is ringing some nostalgia bells, feel free to fill in the blanks in the comments. I have to give a special shout out to the Makeup Museum because they have sent me some vintage holiday ads, and they told me that they tore pages from magazines, not currently, well, I think currently still, but they said that back in the day they would tear out covers or spreads out of fashion magazines of ones that they loved. And so she actually sort of copied some of these and sent them to me. So thank you very much to the Makeup Museum, and all of the other blogs that I'm using, they're all listed down below. I always list my references. So this one here is from 1996. I was so pleasantly surprised because last time we had a really hard time finding ads from the 90s. We sort of went from like the 60s, 70s into like 2010s, but we have some from like 80s, 90s here. And this is 1996. This is a baby Elizabeth Hurley for Estee Lauder. Sparkle for the holiday season. As effervescent as the season, a look that shimmers between silver and gold. Discover it now for lips, cheeks, and nails. First at Neiman Marcus. How cute. This is so 90s. I imagine that her coat, you can sort of see a little bit, it looks like that metallic silver. The 90s and 2000s are so back incredibly. So if you had one of these and you still have it, you could probably still wear it. Her eyeshadow looks subtle, but like a little bit frosted. It sort of looks like it's silver, lots of liner. Her lip looks nude. She doesn't have much going on in the cheeks, but it looks very 90s, very 2000s. It gives me Spice Girls, frosted makeup. Very, very vintage, very nostalgic. And then this is one of the photos that Makeup Museum tore from a magazine back in the day. This is the Giorgio Armani Cosmetics at Saks Fifth Avenue, the Black Gem collection for 2006. Interesting. I can't tell if that's one compact that sort of opens like an accordion with eyeshadow, and at the bottom it looks like some sort of face compact. Imagine if you had a compact that you could open up and have like multiple compartments. That's what it looks like here. Interesting. So this is 2006. And on the opposite side of the Armani print is Guerlain. So here we have a Guerlain collection. Those look gorgeous. At first I thought that those red gold cylinders were meteorite pearls, but that looks like a bronzer. It has like a little brush and a bronzer, and those lipsticks. I love that Guerlain still has the same shape for some of their lip products. Ooh, I love that. I love the red. It's like a rich burgundy Merlot color, and I don't know what that is on the side with a little sponge. It looks like it could be a concealer because it looks very like flesh toned. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I think it looks really nice. Now let's skip ahead to 2007, and we have the I Love Dior Deluxe Holiday Palette here. So I think we're gonna have to go ahead and zoom in. I'm not sure if the quality will be super crisp, but this looks like a big zip, like a big pouch with a bit of everything. There are 6 eyeshadows here. They look mostly matte, maybe a little bit of frost and satin. This looks like a blush, and then on the bottom, maybe it's a face powder, maybe a highlighter, a couple little brushes, a mini mascara, and a lip gloss. That looks so cute. It's so compact. I wonder if you can pop out the case and just keep the zip pouch for travel. Like once you use everything up, I wonder if you can just reuse it for like a makeup travel kit, makeup travel pouch. Actually, I'm wondering if that little rectangle, that white rectangle on the bottom, is a makeup puff. Maybe it's like a puff to apply the blush. Very cute, very interesting. This is 2007. Now we're gonna go ahead and skip to 2011. And I have another collection here from Guerlain. This is called Belle de Nuit. This is giving me butterfly, mystic peacock, very enchanting. I'm not certain who this model is, but I've definitely seen her a lot. Her face looks very familiar. I think this looks gorgeous. I love blue, I love green, I love color. And I just love this like super saturated turquoise color. This little quad here, it looks bold, you know, black and smoky for the holiday season. Very interesting. But I love whatever that perfume bottle is with the big squishy puffy thing. It just makes me want to go like this with my perfume. I love that so much. There are actually 4 lipsticks here. So there's a nude, a sort of black cherry lip, 2 reds, but that peacock compact, is this a blush? Is this a highlighter? I don't know what it is, but I want it. It looks gorgeous. It looks very collector, limited edition. It looks like the type of product that's pristine for a few weeks before you really use it, but it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And that meteorite pearl with that dark teal, wow. I have not seen a meteorite pearl cylinder like that in that color ever, period. Clearly it exists, but it was before my time of purchasing Guerlain. It looks gorgeous. It looks stunning. I love the meteorite pearls. I love the deep turquoise. All right, let's get back to some Chanel. This is the 2012 holiday collection. Now, this might start to ring some nostalgia bells for you because I know some of you still reference some of these collections we're going to speak about. So what is this one called? Éclat du soir. So I don't know, night sparkles, night shines. It gives me such deep rouge noir, that lipstick, that eyeshadow palette, the gold. You know, a lot of the ads for Chanel holidays are very saturated in gold and yellow light, and we can see this here. I believe this nail polish here is called Malice. It's a deep red black. It is so beautiful. I love the sparkle, I love the warm, I love the yellow. It's very, very beautiful. So this was called the Quadra eyeshadow. So they must have changed the names for these. This is called Harmonie du Soir, so nighttime harmony. It looks beautiful. I love the quilt. It looks very pretty. There's also an eyeshadow duo. I don't know if I have a photo for the duo, but there was meant to be an eyeshadow duo included in this collection here, as well as one of those cream long wearing eyeshadows. I wish that they would still come out with those cream shadows. I loved those. They were great. And then this blush here, Stardust, looks gorgeous. I miss the old formula for Chanel blushes. This one here looks like the type of like perfect your cheek but better. Ugh, that looks gorgeous. And then there is a loose setting powder. This one has a rosy gold beige. That's very interesting. And then last but not least, they have these glossomers. They're glosses. That's another item from the brand that I would like to see more of. I know that a matte liquid lip has had its time in the press. It's been the belle of the ball for a while, but I for one am looking forward to gloss again. And so look at these glosses. They look nude. There's like two like perfect nudes and then one's a bit darker. It looks really pretty. Moving over to Dior, we have the Dior Grand Bal Makeup Holiday Collection here. Pretty. Just doing this. Again, we have these face and eye kits or clutches from the brand. So they've been doing this for a very long time. I personally haven't really been wooed into getting them yet, but we can see that this is a very consistent trend from the brand. I think it's really interesting that they mixed gold and silver together in the little clutch. That way you get the best of both worlds. And those were or are eyeshadows. And those two colors, the nudie gold and that cranberry, are actually glosses. And again, you get those tiny little brushes to come with. It's described here as a clutch you take with you for touch-ups. So maybe you're at a party, you're at a ball, you need to freshen up your makeup, you need to see what's moved around. You just have your little clutch and you can add a bit more eyeshadow, a bit more gloss, whatever you feel like. And then there's this loose gold powder. Wow, that looks really decadent and very extra. I wonder how shimmery it is, but it's a beautiful gold dust. And then I remember these quints, those like heavy navy quints from the brand. Those were really pretty. I mean, I still love the brand now, but this was like a specific moment in time here. So we have two quads again. One is more silver, one is, it looks like more of like warm goldy colors. This is something that we still see from the brand, two eyeshadow palettes, two different color stories, but then something different we haven't seen from Dior. I've never seen this before. These are fake lashes from the brand. I'm so surprised. I didn't know that they made like Christian Dior fake lashes. They must have stopped. These ones had Swarovski crystals in them. So if you really wanted to go all out, really be super sparkly, you could go ahead and do that. Now in 2013, we had the Chanel Nuit Infinie de Chanel for the holiday collection. I remember this. I think I must have joined the brand around this time. This eyeshadow palette sold out instantly because it was a beautiful neutral palette. A lot of Chanel clients want like a very sophisticated neutral eyeshadow look. This one sold out instantly. It was beautiful. It was quilted. I don't remember what else came with the collection that year, but lipsticks, of course, a nude, a red nail polish. I don't think I still have this one. I don't think I got this one, but rouge, ruby red, just the classic red lipstick. And they used to have those 5 shadow palettes for the holiday seasons, but this was for Peter Phillips, and Peter Phillips is with Dior now. So we haven't seen these from Chanel in a very long time. But that same year, 2013, for Dior, we have these gorgeous little clutches. We have this one here, the red one, sticks out to me so much. It's so bold. You have a classic 999 red nail polish, and then this must be lips. This must be lip color. I don't imagine it's eyeshadow. I think eyeshadow is for the other clutches here. But this one here just looks like a perfect gloss, and also some red lipsticks in a cute little zip-up pouch with a quad as well. This looks like sort of classic and neutral, but it has a smoky tone to it. You could go into a really dark smoky look or just use the light colors for a lighter look. And then we have a face and eye palette, and those red sort of pink fuchsia lipsticks are so bold. It's interesting that you have one side of the shadows that are more light and neutral, and like the other 3 look like dark smoky eyes, and on the bottom those are some flashy lip colors. I love it. I love these little kits here. I wish I could sort of still see these in person, but I think at this point you can sort of roll the dice on eBay if you're still curious, but I think that's the only option at the moment. And then last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I have other collections I could speak about, but at this point I've been talking for quite a while, so I need to wrap it up. This last collection here, I think, is also going to ring some nostalgia bells for you. This is the Chanel Rouge Noir Holiday Collection of 2015. This ad, I remember this ad vividly. I remember this collection here. So this was Les Quatre Ombres, and this one here, again, was very rouge noir. Everything was about this rouge noir, this red wine color for lips, for nails, for eyes. The quad here, I remember it being very sparkly. I think the silver and the gold were more shimmery, but then you have more of a gray taupe, and then of course that deep rouge noir color. And again, We had these cream eyeshadows. I miss those. I wish they would still come out with them. I really enjoyed them, but I think now they're focusing on liquid shadows, which makes sense. And then of course they came out with a Rouge Noir mascara, which had like a little bit of that burgundy red wine red. And this blush here, it was like a blush highlight. It was so pretty. This sold out really quickly too, because it was just really pretty, very beautiful, very easy to wear. And then we had those liquid lipsticks. I still have them. Those were the round ones. I have, like, the new ones now are square, but the predecessor to this one here was round. I'm sure that they'll discontinue this in 2 years and then come out with a round one, and you know, everything goes round and round. And then we have the Rouge Allure, those like intense long wearing lipsticks. We have nudes, we have a red, and of course, Rouge Noir. It's so nice. It's a very bold color. It is a statement look, but it actually is a very nice deep red. And of course, the glosses. I hope those glosses come back next year, because everywhere, like across the board, they're nowhere to be found. So my spidey sense is saying that they're discontinuing them to reformulate them, and they'll be coming out with a new collection soon. So these two glosses, one was nude and the other one was like a Rouge Noir gloss. This was gorgeous. This on top of the lipstick was beautiful. And then these nail polishes, I think I still have. I'm very happy to report that I was able to find the nail polish in question. So this is the Rouge Noir Lame top coat. I have to give it a good shake here because it's been sitting and separating. But this was the top coat. So it was red but with gold flake in it, and you had to give it a good shake because it does separate. And you could just put this on top of the classic Rouge Noir. This one also separated a bit. This beautiful red wine nail polish here. You could do an accent finger. You could do them on all of them. This was really pretty, and I forgot that I had this, and I had to dig through a couple rows of nail polish, but I was able to find it. And lastly, from this last collection here, the mini brush sets. I miss these. They used to come out with these every year for the holiday season. You'd get a mini Chanel zip pouch, you'd get mini brushes and a mirror depending on which one, because there were different brush kits you could get. They were great. I loved them. They were an amazing gift. They were really cute. They were great for travel. They stopped making these for whatever reason. I don't know. I wish they would come back with them. But yeah, I think this is the end of our video. I think this is our roundup of part 2 of our vintage holiday collections, our vintage holiday advertisements. I think it's enchanting and whimsical, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you enjoyed part 2. As usual, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you take the time to subscribe, because a lot of you who watch me are not subscribed yet, and if you're just counting that the algorithm will bring you back, that is very faulty. The algorithm probably won't actually, so just go ahead and hit subscribe. And on that note, I think that's all I have for you guys for today. So thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.